a mother and her 8 sons, all of whom served in the American Army and all returned home alive in the 1950s. These are Buchenwald concentration camp guards, captured by prisoners during the final days of World War II. We all know what became of them: long, horrific torture and suffering. Germany, 1945. A crowd of 300,000 gathered on Shanghai's waterfront to celebrate the new year. From the upper floors of a skyscraper, coupons resembling US dollars were thrown with the message "Happy 2015," causing a stampede. 36 dead, 49 injured. China, 2014. Strongman Galen Goff lets a truck drive over him at a California stadium, 1935. Boxer Raymond Johnston spars with a Mustang, September 15, 1926. The famous photograph, "Thank you, Comrade Stalin, for our happy childhood." In reality, the regime executed her father and her mother died in prison. Previously, anyone could relieve themselves right on the city streets, a public urinal in Paris, 1875. Korean War veterans display experimental prostheses, South Korea, 1955. German children destroying Nazi literature and swastikas in Cologne, 1945. This is a bulletproof vest from 1881, used in combat and blocked 18 bullets. An invention for washing and massaging breasts, 1930. These devices were also supposed to improve firmness. Working models can still be found on eBay today. A Canadian soldier says goodbye to his daughter before heading to war, World War I, 1914. When Freddie Mercury died, he had 10 cats, and according to Deacon, he loved them more than anyone. Unit 731 conducted experiments on Chinese women who were raped, impregnated, and purposefully infected with syphilis to see if the disease would be passed on hereditarily. Children, prisoners of Auschwitz concentration camp, show their camp numbers tattooed on their arms, Poland, 1945. In 18th century England, rapists always walked free. If the victim did not become pregnant, the crime was not considered proven. If she did become pregnant, the court ruled that she had received pleasure and the offender was acquitted. Workers in 3 links of the anchor chain for the Titanic, 1910. Huge parts were handmade. The size of the ship was record-breaking for its time. Che Guevara with Bolivian soldiers before his execution, Bolivia, 1967. No, there is no banana there, 1958. Young American women admire stockings. Back then it was very hard to get them, 1940. View of the epicenter of a nuclear explosion 2 seconds after the blast, Kazakhstan, 1949. Prayer for peace, 100,000 monks praying, Thailand. On February 11, 1990, Mike Tyson suffered his first loss. Arrested black protesters, USA, 1959. Segregation laws forbade them from eating in white establishments. Many are surprised by the fact that Pope Benedict XVI served in Nazi Germany. A race education class at a school for German girls, 1943. A watch raised from the Titanic. It stopped at 2:28, 2 minutes after the crash. USA, photo from 1985. group portrait of a women's hockey team, Canada, 1916. Parisians walk on chairs to avoid wetting their feet during a flood, 1924. In 2000, the Zimbabwean bank ZB Bank Limited held a lottery for depositors. In an incredible coincidence, the grand prize of $100,000 was won by President Robert Mugabe. Before Google Maps, there was a navigation helpline, 1963. In the early 20th century, the U.S. Navy decided to fight inappropriate tattoos among sailors and prohibited people with such tattoos from joining. This led many young men who didn't want to serve in the Navy to get tattoos of naked women. Interestingly, if they later changed their minds, they went back to the tattoo shop to add clothes to their girls. A British sailor saws off the shackles of a slave which the man had worn for 3 years. Ambulance, Italy, 1894. A hang glider made from a bedsheet, parquet flooring, and other materials, used to escape from a British prison, 1945. Smallpox, the only human disease that was successfully eradicated. Smallpox cannot be treated, and the smallpox vaccine was the first successful vaccine ever invented. In ancient Greece, a gift of a rabbit from one man to another signified an intention to engage in intimate relations with the recipient. Salvador Dalí, 1947. The Great Wall of China is regretfully called the longest cemetery in the world. Thousands of people are buried inside it. They died carrying enormous boulders to construct the wall. Bertram Mills freak show participants inspecting girls with giraffe necks. Freaks were very popular at the time, just as they are now. USA, 1935. Germans with local Russian women in occupied territory, 1943. The 16th century plague doctor's mask used during outbreaks of bubonic plague. The beak was filled with lavender, cloves, and opium, intended to purify the air of miasmas, which were then considered the cause of the disease. Alas, it offered no protection. Fleas, the carriers of the plague, freely jumped from victims onto the doctors. A couple at a fair in Mexico, 1940. Matador Alvaro Munero, in the middle of a fight, suddenly sat down at the edge of the arena in remorse. Later, Alvaro confessed, "Suddenly I saw not horns, but the eyes of the bull. He just stood there, looking, not trying to attack. In his eyes, full of innocence, I saw a plea for help. Reading this, I felt like the worst creature on earth and stopped the fight." A research aircraft safely lands after flying over an isolated tribe in the Amazon jungle. Soul cleansing with boiling water. In some Catholic countries, it was once believed that a sinner's soul could be cleansed. For this, they poured boiling water down the person's throat or threw hot coals into it. Bergen-Belsen SS women camp guards are paraded for work in clearing the dead. World War II. Men from the Babara tribe. They believed that twisting the upper lip in such a manner was very beautiful and attractive to women. Belgian Congo, 1924. There were also brothels and concentration camps, and very often the girls were abused by other women, such as the commandant's wives, simply for pleasure. Francesco Lentini, a man with a rare developmental anomaly from the island of Sicily. He was born in 1889 with 3 legs and 2 sexual organs, earning his living by working in a circus. British soldiers blinded after a gas attack, waiting in line for the doctor. German prisoners of war being shown footage from a concentration camp, Germany, 1945. Doctors perform artificial respiration on a drowning victim while a woman in a swimsuit poses, New York, 1940. November 11, 1989. West Berliners watch people tearing down a section of the Berlin Wall to open a new border crossing. A common punishment in Mongolia for criminals who were put in a small box that they couldn't even fit into and displayed publicly while being subjected to starvation. An ancient bloodletting tool from 1850. This practice was common in Europe and Russia until the mid-19th century and was considered a primary treatment for many ailments. Cave paintings depicting the daily life of people, Wadi Jarat, Algeria, 2000 BC. Potato chips were invented by accident, or rather out of spite. In 1853, chef George Crumb sliced potatoes paper thin to mock a customer who kept complaining his fries were too thick. A German pilot jumps from a burning plane. Parachutes did not exist at the time. World War I, 1915. Soldiers fall, income rises. Poster from the USSR, 1968. People pose on the carcass of a dead whale painted with graffiti, California, 1919. In the USA, slaves were forced to wear iron masks to prevent them from eating, singing, and speaking their native language. Slavery was abolished in the US in 1865 and in Brazil in 1888. In 1920, ideas of healthy habits were a bit different. Here, athletes casually share cigarettes during a Tour de France bike race. Hand-dropped bombs, World War I. Survivors of the Japanese attack on an Australian Navy patrol ship during World War II. They built a raft and were spotted from the air, but due to a storm, they were unable to be rescued that day. They were never seen again. The Football War, to capture an Akatayin into 1969, a 6-day military conflict between El Salvador and Honduras. The pretext for the war was the loss of the Honduran team to the Salvadoran team in the playoff matches of the World Cup qualifying stage. Lavender Panthers are a radical militarized gay group that existed in San Francisco in 1973. The group aimed to defend LGBT rights with arms as the police were inactive, and attacks on gays and transvestites were rarely investigated. The fashionable vice of the Victorian era, opium addiction, which began in China. The English facilitated this trade, preferring to pay with opium instead of silver for tea. Photo from 1865. Gold prospectors climbed the Chilkoot Pass to reach the Klondike Goldfields, Alaska, 1898. Forget about spy gadgets. In the 1960s, the CIA launched Operation Acoustic Cat. The plan was to train cats to eavesdrop on Russian conversations. The first agent cat, with a microphone in its ear, a transmitter in its collar, and an antenna implanted in its tail, was sent to position but tragically died under the wheels of a taxi. Secret societies in Latin America, 1920. The largest submarine in the world, called Akula, USSR 1981. Skinheads in London 1980. A Swedish weightlifter celebrates after successfully lifting the weight at the Olympics, Montreal 1976. Sanitary dog finds a wounded soldier, World War I, 1916. Night fishing in Hawaii, where bright lights attract fish to the shallows, 1968. Violet Jessup worked on the liners Olympic, Titanic, and Britannic, all of which were shipwrecked, but she remained unharmed. Strength test of a pipe. The inventor sits inside. Canada, 1920. Bicycle Regiment of the Dutch Army on the eve of the German invasion, 1940. In 1947, boxer Sugar Ray Robinson did not want to enter the ring with Jimmy Doyle because he had a dream in which he killed his opponent. Robinson was persuaded to participate in the fight. The 8th round ended with Doyle falling after a punch from Robinson and being unable to continue the fight. He later died in the hospital. Finnish blacksmith Pertti Mäki stands in line all night to become the first buyer of a bottle of vodka after the end of Prohibition, April 5, 1932. A car powered by charcoal, Japan, 1945. An unofficial photo of Joseph Stalin when he learned of the German invasion. Nathaniel Morgan pulls a pig from a container located in a nuclear test zone in Nevada, 1957. The most dangerous notebook in the world. It belonged to Marie Curie and it emits radiation, 1899. Chains used on patients in old psychiatric asylums. 80-year-old cannibal Tom, the last cannibal of Fiji Island, 1905. A man who lost all his money in the stock market sells his Chrysler for $100. USA, 1929. Baby races, popular sports competitions in New Jersey from 1946 to 1955. Children's carnival against child beating with slogans, "Down with the belt" and "No place for the whip." USSR, 1930. A Chechen woman carries her belongings through the ruins during the conflict between Russia and Chechnya, 1995. Japanese samurai respected the practice of shudo, homosexual relationships between a young man and a mature man, believing it taught young men honor, aesthetic sense, and dignity. Love for a woman, conversely, was considered softening for men. Armor of Ferdinand I, Holy Roman Emperor, 16th century. A woman with a portrait of her son greets the last train with former German prisoners of war from the USSR, 1955. Monk Capistran Ferrito plays baseball with Harlem Boys, USA, 1965. The stump of a giant cedar used as a post office, USA, Washington State, late 19th century. The longest coma lasted 42 years. An American woman who became known for spending almost half a century in a coma, Eduarda Obarra. High jump at the 1908 London Olympics. Sharp dressers at a football match between Brighton and Watford, 1920. Pro-Khomeini militia fighters patrol the streets looking for the Arab population. Khorramshahr, Iran, 1979. Did this make you laugh, cry, or feel frustrated? Let me know your reaction in the comment section. Make sure to watch out for the next episode. Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Cheers.